Hello, aja बैठो. So you're thinking that you want to take a gap year. Should you take it or not? And I think I have the right answer for you. But before we start, I just want to tell you that I have construction going on right outside my door, like a window which is here. So you're gonna hear a lot of drilling and all of that. So please do not mind those noises. I know it could be annoying, but please don't mind that. Also, like, I was feeling red lips today. If you don't know, Lana Del Rey is my goddess. So I was like really feeling the red lips today. That's why I have it. I know ऐसा लग रहा होगा ना मैं खून पी कर आई हूँ. ऐसे 2-3 लोग ज़रूर होते हैं बोलने वाले, but whatever. चलिए शुरू करते हैं बिना किसी बकवास के. Did you really think I was gonna say that? So I personally took a gap year and I had no idea what was gonna happen. I had not planned anything. And up until that point, I had never taken a big decision of my life on my own. So before we start, I would like to give you a quick background on why am I the right person to give you the advice. But a disclaimer, I really want you guys, especially those who are into medicine and are pursuing MBBS or want to do that and giving NEET or something, and if they're considering if they should drop or not, I have a special segment for you. So just wait and watch the video till the end and I'll talk about this particular situation in detail. So a little bit about my background. In 2018, I personally thought that it was going to be an amazing year because like in late 2017, I discovered meditation, self-love, this and that. And 2018 was starting with like a Monday with so many zeros and circular shapes. I don't know. I thought it was going to be the year of my life because I was graduating school and about to go to college. And I thought that this would be like one of the most transformational years of my life. Little did I know that the destiny had other plans for me. We will not go into the depth of what my gap year was like because that's a secret and that's a video for another time or maybe never. But let's talk about your gap year. So I had no idea what college I wanted to go to, what course I wanted to pursue, what were the options available, what was the admission process like, and I also did not have an excellent percentage. So I really had no idea and I was basically, and there was a lot of conflict going around me taking a gap year. So basically I was in a deep shit. So now let's talk about you and your situation. First of all, you need to answer a few questions for yourself. Do you think your life is sailing smoothly at this point and you have the opportunities, you have a good job, you have maybe good marks, you have college admissions and offers with you, or maybe you have figured everything out and it's working out for you? You need to think about all of these things. If the answer is yes, everything is working out for you and you still want to take a gap year, I mean, first of all, I would suggest go ahead with your life. Like, why not? If everything is sorted out. In case you still want to take a gap year, I would definitely encourage you to do so. But you need to consider that even if you take a gap year, do you think that these opportunities will still come to you after the gap year ends? Do you think that things would be as smooth as they are right now after your gap year ends? So that is something that you really need to think about, because we might think, okay, we have this like offer already, I think I might get into it, but you never know what the cutoffs are going to be the following year. So you need to be very sure about that, and if everything works out well, go ahead, take the gap year. Okay, but if you're just confused and you think that things are like may or may not work out for you, then I would suggest that there is no harm in taking a gap year. You should. And there are a couple of things that I want to tell you before you decide that you want to take a gap year. So a few points that you need to consider. First of all, there is no harm in taking a gap year. There is no race. You're not missing out on absolutely anything. Most of the people, they think that, oh my god, my year would be wasted. What is wasted? Nothing goes, to waste in life, to be very honest. People think that they're in a sort of race and they're like, oh, let's take admission in any course. I'm not getting the course that I desire right now. Maybe the admissions are over or maybe the seats are full. So I'm just gonna take admission in any course because otherwise I'll waste a year. You will waste your life if you take admission in just any course. You will waste your life. So you better take a gap year, dude, and slow down. Next thing is, you have your own timeline. I understand that we tend to compare ourselves with people who are around us, but who says that you have to like finish college by a certain age, school by a certain age? who has mentioned this rule that by the end of your or maybe by the time your results are out, you should already have like a decision made in your mind to which college to go to? I mean, why there has to be a timeline which is very similar to just any other Tom, Dick and Harry around you? Just have your own timeline. If you feel like you need to take a gap year for 2 years, if you feel like you need to work after your college, after your school, and then maybe start college, go ahead and do that. You do not have to work according to other people's timeline. Do what works the best for you. Yes, oh, I'm so proud of myself for saying that. Next thing would be plan things out. If you're taking a gap year, think of it as a time where you can plan for your future. Just take a break, decide what you want to do, what are other colleges, look at the friends around you, your other classmates who are actually going to the college in the same year, and then just look at them. What college process are they going through? How are they maintaining things? How are they managing things? And maybe pick up a few lessons here and there, and then collect your information, plan your game, and then work accordingly in the following year. So that is an advantage that you get if you take a gap year. You get to see other people doing their college work, and then you can prepare for it, look for more opportunities. Maybe if you feel like you want to go abroad and you come across a course, try for that. A year is like a lot of time for you to decide on big things. Maybe you want to change your course altogether, and do that. Go ahead. This year is for you to reinvent yourself and your education. Next thing is breathe. Even if you don't have everything planned out, you've done your schooling for 13, 14, 15 years straight, starting from nursery, unless you failed. But even if you failed, I'm pretty sure you've never taken a break. You've repeated like classes, and that just adds one more year to your school life. So I would say that take a break and breathe. Trust me, you deserve this time. Like can you imagine the ratio? Like after 15 or 14 years of schooling, taking just 1 year of break, it doesn't really seem much, and you totally deserve that. And relax, just breathe. Like it is nothing compared to like 12 years or 13 years of constant non-stop education. Like 1 year is nothing. It is the least that you deserve if you want some time. Why is my hand like this? Like this is like Italian stereotype to keep your hands like this. Anyway, next thing is other people will pity you. If you take a gap year, other people are gonna pity you. I did not know that taking a gap year was a bad thing or considered a bad thing, because I never planned on taking one, so I never talked to anybody about it. But when I took a gap year, and whenever I told people that I'm on a gap year, people would be like, oh, like, are you preparing for something? Oh, okay, like as if something bad had happened to me, or I have been diagnosed with something like really bad. Why am I speaking like that? I just don't understand, but then okay, whatever. Yeah, so people will definitely pity you, because I did not know that in society taking a gap year is considered like a setback or a failure, which it is completely not. I never felt that way. I personally never felt that way. I always thought, okay, I used to watch like a lot of American YouTubers and this and that, so they would get their admission offers and they would defer on purpose. So to me, taking a gap year was as normal as anything. But I did not know that people, like especially uncles and aunties and people who really feel that it is important to comment on your life, they think that taking a gap year is like, oh my god, poor you. So this is gonna happen. You might come across something like that, and you might feel like people would automatically assume that you're conscious of the fact that you are taking a gap year, but there's nothing to be conscious of. Trust me, it is just a gap year. You are resting, that's all. So my point is, take a gap year, no matter what. Like if you're thinking that you want to take a gap year, like for me, I knew in 9th standard that somehow like I might want to take a gap year, although I lost my fantasy to the practicality of 11th and 12th and career and blah 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 whatnot. But then I'm glad that I took a gap year. Oops, my storage just ran out there. But I mean, you do not lose absolutely anything if you take a gap year. I swear to God, this is the best thing that happens to you. You'll realize by the end of it. If you are taking a gap year in like a bad situation, in not a very comfortable or an ideal situation, and you have to take it because you have no other option, trust me, by the end of it, if nothing, you'll have so much of personal growth. I mean, that you cannot thank yourself enough for taking this. Yes. I mean, and on top of everything, you feel like really refreshed and you feel energized again, and you're constantly in the routine of school, homework, this and that, academics, and it's a good time to just detach yourself from that and do your own stuff. I mean, I hope that it makes sense to you. You're getting my point, right? Now you might wonder, okay, if you take a gap year, what can you do in your gap year? I would say that I have a few suggestions. You can do whatever you want to. You can not do anything. I mean, you can do nothing if you want to. But here are just a few suggestions that I have. First of all, start taking up volunteering work. Like for 12-13 years, we're just so focused on academics. We forget that there are other things that adds value to us. Something like working with a non-profit organization or NGO, or maybe, I don't know, old age homes, whatever. These might sound like a very westernized concept, but it really does help in your personal development. You do not get to experience all of this in school, but so I think that if you want to like add another perspective to your the way you view the world, it is always amazing to take up volunteering work. You do good and you learn some. The major benefit with this is, again, it adds to your CV, like it adds to your resume. A volunteering work like always looks good on your resume, but yeah, I mean, I can say that it is not for resume and stuff, which is true, but then of course I can't deny that it also looks really good on your resume. So you can take up volunteering work. You can work on new ideas if you have like business ideas, or you want to develop like a business or something. You want to take up entrepreneurship or like start a side hustle. I think this is the best time to do so, because you do not have any responsibilities. You do not have to go to office. You do not have to meet the deadlines of assignments and work and all of that. So I think it is a good time to at least plan things out, or maybe to start think of the ideas that you might want to pursue even in future. And just make a vision for yourself, reinvent your future. I don't know, maybe start a YouTube channel like I did. I started my YouTube channel in my gap year, although that channel still exists, but I don't post on that anymore. But start a YouTube channel, like why not? Pursue your hobbies. Like past, I am pretty sure that in 11th and 12th you might have studied really, really hard. Even if you've not, you must have been under a lot of pressure of studying, school and all of that. I've been there, done that, so I understand that this is the time for you to take a step back, go back to your hobbies. If you like to paint, take up painting. If you like to sing, play piano, take up piano. I recently bought myself a piano, not a piano like a huge one, like the Yamaha keyboard kind of thing for myself. Like on my birthday I gifted that to myself, because since childhood I wanted one. So, but I'm in college now. But so you can do that. You can go back to a hobby that you've always wanted to pursue, but you couldn't because of school and everything, and you can take classes for them. I mean, this is the best time to take classes for those hobbies and develop it even more. And yeah, that's interesting. That's always interesting. You're gonna enjoy it because you like it. Also, do a language. Like learning a language is such an amazing experience. Language learning opens so many doors for you. It opens new culture for you. You have a whole different understanding when you start to learn language of a place or of a region. Maybe an Indian language, maybe your native language, maybe some foreign language. Like I now I can read like Korean entirely. I want to learn to speak Korean. I am also learning Chinese. I know a little bit of Turkish. So it's really interesting to and then connect the words. Oh, this comes from Hindi, and like Turkish is so similar to Hindi, and Korean is so similar to Tamil. So it's really interesting to see how the world and the languages like formed. Also, like if you can learn it from a credible source, because learning language from a credible source might also help you in future in your jobs. You can again add it to your resume, and it will always any kind of education or educational course or anything which contributes to your growth and development always helps you. So learn a language. You can take up language in college as well, and then you might get to go and visit to that country, and you can study that language in that country. For example, Korean. People go to Korea all the time to study Korean. So you can try to learn language from a credible source or just for fun. Another thing is start documenting your days, because this is a year which is one of its kind, and you might not ever experience anything like that in future. You might always have I mean, touch wood, you might always have work coming in, you might always have something to do, and you might never experience anything like that. So document your days. How do you feel? Pay attention to your emotions, your feelings, and all of that, and document your days, how you spend them, what interesting things you do. And also, like, when you start to document, you want to do more things so that you can document those. And I have recently thought that I will also document my life. I'm like so bummed that I did not start this earlier, but I started a blog. You can check my blog out. I've done a blog about gap year. My first blog was about my gap year. You can check that out in the description. I'll put that down. I've shared it with a lot of friends, and they really resonate with the article, and I really think that you should go and give it a read. It's called What I Learned in My Gap Year While Doing Nothing. So I hope that you find something which resonates with you. So I started my blog and vlog, so I think it might appear here in the I button, or maybe here in the I button. You don't have to like make it perfect. You can start writing. You can do it by writing. You can maybe make videos like I do. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, so you remember your life. Like, why not? Memories are always so beautiful. The last thing is, if you do not want to do anything at all, and if you have nothing planned, and if you are not, and I can understand that not everybody is as privileged to do anything that they want to. So even if you're not able to do a lot of things, I would suggest that work on your routine, work on your habits, and start to like pay close attention to how you when you wake up, what all you do throughout your day, because earlier your days and your schedules were run by the schedule of your school assignments, but this time you are in control of your days. So you better take good care of it. You better build yourself, because let me tell you, after school nobody gives a shit. Literally nobody gives a shit about your life and your schedule and everything. Like, if you want to get better, you'll have to take your own responsibility. I learned this the hard way, but let me tell you this as an older sister maybe. Last but not the least, catch up with your friends. Like, you've been studying like for past 2-3 years non-stop. Go and catch up with your friends. Meet your old friends. Go on trips. Also go back to family. Spend more time with your family, because your parents have been sacrificing a lot because of your exam. They might not be going out because of you, so spend time with them. And also go and live with your grandparents. Like, if there's no one else, if you have no friends or whatever, just go and live with your grandparents, you dumb. Anyway, MBBS wale, I have personal प्यार for you guys. I mean, क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग अपनी लाइफ के साथ? नीट दे दिया ना तुम लोगों ने. You've given NEET once, right? I like, hats off to you. Like, it is such a task to give NEET. I'm so proud of you. First of all, give yourself a pat on the back, because you have accomplished that. Finally, 11th and 12th say people have been telling you NEET, like this one goal, and you've done that already once. Give yourself, even like, no matter you've passed, failed, whatever, just give yourself a pat on the back. Good. See, taking a break for you is normalized. Like, the case here is just the opposite of what it was in the previous situation. Wahan par people used to look down upon people who take breaks, but here it is normalized. Oh, medical line. Okay, हाँ तुम्हारा तो चलता है. Like, it is okay for you to take a gap year. But dude, you have to be very practical with this gap year. I mean, it is one, I can understand a lot of people are so passionate about being doctors, but you have to be very smart about it. Trust me. Taking a gap year in your situation puts shitload of pressure on you guys, and I totally understand that. But then a lot of you might wonder that, nahi, I only have to be a doctor. This is mere baap dada ka sapna, mera sapna. If I'm not gonna be a doctor, I'm not gonna be anything else. And I want to go to like gaon and treat people in villages. I want to do social service, and I'm gonna be the next Naresh Trehan. See, doing good deeds is a very good thing. Being a doctor in itself is a noble profession, but you have to be very objective when you think about it, because yes, it is a good career, yes, it is very amazing, but then is it like, do you fit in this right now? Like, whatever the situation you are in right now, maybe you were the brightest kid in your school back in 6th standard, and probably you were so good at science, but Are you like made for this? Can you like do this? It is a very important question that you need to ask yourself, because doctor is not a profession that you can just be. Like, being a doctor takes a lot, especially in India, where it's a quote unquote cutthroat competition when it comes to IITs, like being an engineer and doctor. You can't just think that you're gonna be like the next Naresh Trehan and then just keep, beating yourself up in competitions and being like, no, you just have to do it, you'll pass someday. See, that is true, but then you have to be smart about it. Just working hard doesn't get you everything. I might sound like very negative, but it is just an aspect of it that I think everybody should consider. I'll go to the positives now. Of course, first of all, you need to check your marks. How much marks did you get this time if you did not clear? What was the margin that you were left with? Because, okay, I'll give you examples. So I know this one person, she was not I'm not sure, like she got around 300 or something in first time, and then in second attempt she got into like MAMC for dental, that is Maulana Azad. It is like one of the best medical colleges. But then she knew that she could do it, and then she again dropped that year, and in the third attempt she got MBBS in Lady Harding. So these kind of people, I would say, they were very smart with their decision. Like, everybody was doubting her when she left the MAMC offer, but she knew that she could do it, and she did it. She proved herself. I also know someone who performed like really good. Like, this person scored in like 400s, which is like not very good if you look at it from the competition point of view, the cutoff point of view, but then it was fairly okay. And this person had to resort to the going to abroad kind of options, because this person took a gap year again. This person also dropped a year, and again this person scored around 400 or something, and this person had to go to the going abroad thing, right? This next person that I'm going to talk about, I really want you to be aware and not become this person. This person scored around 300 in the first attempt, similar to the first case. In the second case, this person took coaching and everything, and again scored around 300, slightly more than that. This person then took a gap year again and thought that they would study without the coachings. They did not make it again. And this person again took a gap year, and they are again like studying in the same way. Like, they're like, oh, I just need to do physics, I just need to do chemistry. I hope they make it, but I don't think it is a very smart decision to make, because you have to see how you're performing in the exam. You have to see if you are still gonna have the zeal. As I said in the beginning, there is no timeline for this, but then again you have to have some practicality in your decision, that you can't just keep going on and on and on and on for 12 years preparing for the exam and giving just the exam, because it is not the only thing in the world. So you have to be very sure, like, and again, even if you've scored good, do you think, and if you're like really upset and like is baat to tod denge, you again need to just keep this one thing in your mind, that ye jo tod denge wala jo josh hai, trust me, it only stays for like 2.5 months at max, and then you have to come back to reality, and you have to go back to studying physics, numericals, formulas, all those things that you studied so hard for past 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years maybe, and then you were not able to make it, and then you have to go back to the same thing. So are you mentally, I'm not saying you should not go back for, I by no means am trying to demotivate you and saying you should not go back to it. Of course, if you think you can, but you should then. But I'm just saying that it's going to be really difficult, and you have to think that, are you mentally prepared? You need to look into other options. If you feel like you can't be a doctor, if you can afford to go to abroad as in not like Ukraine wala abroad. I am not sure how. I mean, I don't have anything against that, but I'm talking about going to like UK, US, where you can like do your graduation and then pursue and then go for medical college, but then you have to be like super rich for all of that and ready to pay all the debts. So that is not an option that everybody could afford. If you think you can go to like Ukraine or something and then come back and then you can pass the exam that you have to give to practice in India, which is tougher than NEET, then go ahead and do that. But my only point, I can do a separate video about the medical students, but my point is you just have to be very careful, because although taking a gap year or dropping a year is very normalized in medical field, you just should not do it for the sake of it, because 1 year is not less. 1 year is 1 year. It is 12 months. It is 365 days, and it is so many memories, so many experiences. It is life changing for a lot of people. So I would not just ask you to just give 1 year like that. I mean, if you have a purpose, if you like really want to go for it, I'm not saying that if you do not perform well, you should not do that, but then you should be very smart about it. Like, it's not about how you perform this time, it's about how you are going to perform the next time. So just be very careful about it. Yeah, that's all I had to say. So this was the video, you guys. If you found it to be useful and helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my Instagram, and if you want to see more videos like this, comment down below and let me know what more would you like to see. I have another idea. Do you want to know about college processes and how should you go about it? How should you, oh my god, do you want to know about college processes and how does it go for different subjects and all of that? If you're interested in that, because the time is coming soon, it is the time for you to now start filling up the forms and everything. I'm not sure how things are working with coronavirus right now, or COVID-19, but if you are interested in that, just let me know. I can help you out with multiple subjects. I'll tell you why I know about all of this in later videos. And yeah, if you like my video, just subscribe to my channel. And I think I've posted my first vlog of January by now, so please don't forget to check that out. And yeah, bye.